This is the time that we like to welcome our guests. So if you're here for the first time, would you please stand and give us your name and where you're from? We'd like to welcome you. Yes. Barbara from here. Woohoo, Barbara. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Welcome. Oh. Wow. Welcome. Anyone else? Well, we'd like to welcome you all, and there is a packet of information out in the lobby under the monitor if you would like to pick it up on your way out. We have a vision and a mission statement that we like to read in unison. Together, we envision a world joyfully transformed through spiritual awakening and our mission statement. Our mission is to demonstrate spiritual principles, inspire personal growth, and share love and joy. We have a few announcements. The Green Team meeting is Wednesday, June 16th, in person if you'd like to come. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, they are also on Zoom at 4:30 p.m. The Green Team is also having the ADOT cleanup on Saturday, June 19th at 7:30 a.m. You can pick up information about this event in the lobby. Father's Day is June 20th, and we are encouraging everyone to wear aloha shirts. And ladies, if you don't have an aloha shirt, put on a muumuu and come to church. There's a men's gathering on Friday, June 25th at 9 a.m. in the Fellowship Hall. And there will be more details in next week's Spotlight newsletter. We are now interviewing for 3 part-time positions: the choir accompanist, the bookstore manager, and part-time video producer. Sundays are required for these jobs. And if you're interested, see Reverend Rogers, who's up here in the front, or call the office. Please join me in singing Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Let's move into our time of prayer and meditation. I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to feel the presence of God that is within you and all around you. That there's only one presence and one power. God the good. And that living Spirit of God is within each one of us. That as you turn your focus within, we discover all that God is. For we are not separate from our Creator, but we are the living expression of all that God is. We are God's breath and God's life. We are God's wisdom and power. We are God's love and peace. We are the extensions of the divine. So whatever is going on in your life today, come back to yourself. Come back to your center. Come back to God. That oftentimes in life we get so busy taking care of all the details. that we forget the true creative power in our life all starts within us. That there's only one presence, one power, one God manifesting as each one of us. God is fully present right here, right now. And as you call upon that power, your life begins to change. As you acknowledge the power of God within you, doors of opportunity begin to open. The good that you've always looked for is right there. It's within you. It is infinite. It is pure peace and overflowing good. It is love beyond measure and wisdom and joy, power. So in the silence now, we connect to the power of God within us and call it forth into every area of our life. We are one with the one. We pray for every man, woman, and child on our planet, that we may all awaken to the fullness of God. We pray for peace and order and abundance for each and every person, that God is good, and that each one of us is manifesting that good in our greatest way. And so it is. Amen.
Between every sunrise and sunset, we can live our lives so we have no regrets. We can be right or be kind. We can lift each other up and let our big light shine. So lay it down, brother, lay it down. Lay down pride and prejudice so only love can be found. Lay it down, brother, lay it down. What you put into the universe will come back around. Hey, hey. I pray to be tongue-tied in a battle of words. Let my heart be the sound that must be heard. If I speak love, there's no room for hate. If I speak of my blessings, there's no room for debate. So lay it down, brother, lay it down. Lay down pride and prejudice so only love can be found. Lay it down, brother, lay it down. What you put into the universe will come back around. So here we are, just another day, another chance for change. If only we could see God in us, then His love would not feel strange. Oh, so lay it down, brother, lay it down. Lay down pride and prejudice so only love can be found. Lay it down, brother, lay it down. What you put into the universe will come back around. So lay it down, brother, lay it down. Lay down pride and prejudice so only love can be found.
All right, you ready for today? Okay, so my question for you today is, how much drama do you do? Are you kind of a high drama folk? You know, yeah, there's drama and there's stories and there's razzle dazzle and emotions and stomping and slamming doors and the whole high drama experience. You know, are you kind of a middle drama folk? You know, you can get in there and dig with the best of them if you have to, but by and large, you don't do a lot. And then there's low drama folks, right? Now, what's interesting about this question is everybody thinks they're low drama, right? Because your level of drama seems so normal for you that it doesn't feel like high drama. It's just the level of drama you do, right? And over again, what I want us to look at as we're moving through this season is to really to be willing to look at how much emotional upheaval is in your life. Do you have a little bit? You have more than you like? Or are the walls just about to explode from drama in your house, right? So over and over again, what I want you to see is that the Urban Dictionary defines drama as this. A way of, sorry, it's just funny. Sorry. A way of relating to the world in which the person consistently overreacts to or greatly exaggerates the importance of the events of their life. Now, does everybody have at least one family member that you could kind of categorize as a high drama individual, right? Could be one of your children, it could be a brother, sister, could be a spouse, could be a parent. It's high drama. And these are the warning signs that you or someone you love may be a little high drama. Having supposedly one serious problem after another. Constantly telling other people about your problems. Extreme emotional swings and frequently shifts in intense emotions. Claiming to experience negative events even when they're highly unlikely. This is really my favorite one, where you don't have enough drama in your life, so you have to make it up, right? Right? You have to make it up. And the fifth one is a pattern of irrational behavior and reaction to everyday problems, right? So part of living the spiritual life is that I believe that as we really connect with the Spirit of God within us, as we really desire to live a God-centered life, I believe the level of peace in our life goes up. Have you experienced that? Right? It's hard to meditate on a regular basis and have a freak out at the same moment. Right? It's hard to be in your little Zen place, and the next minute, like running around your car like your hair's on fire. Right? And they don't seem to really be in integrity. So what I want to talk about today is this idea that we can actually live in peace. Jesus said, in the world there's tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I've overcome the world. You know, last week we began a 4-week series based on Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The 4 Agreements. And the first principle, the first agreement that we talked about last week is to be impeccable with our words. And one of the things that happens when you get control over your mouth, right, is that it does limit the amount of drama that you do, right? That when our mouth is out of control, it's amazing how much drama that your words can create around you. Has everybody had that experience where your mouth just created more drama than was necessary, right? Because if we really haven't had that experience, we really don't know what it's like to get control of the words that are coming out of our mouth, and so that we can really create it. So the first idea is to be impeccable with our words. Now, what happens when we're impeccable? See, I believe that once we become impeccable with our words, once we get control over our mouth, then what also happens is we get control over our thoughts. And then we get control over our actions. And when we're impeccable in our words, we actually begin to create a life that lines up with our deepest values, our deepest desires, our highest intention. And what happens around us is the drama then really begins to fall away. Because if every day you're about your most important thing, if every day you're about the work that God's given you to do, you honestly do not have time for a lot of drama. Because every day you're doing the most important thing. You're not focusing on what everybody else is doing. You're not focusing on what's going around you. You're actually focused on staying clear and centered from the most important point. That once you begin to take dominion, you actually do eliminate the drama. So here's Don Miguel Ruiz. Chapter 3. Don't take it personally. The second agreement is don't take it personally. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Can we say that together? Don't take it personally. One more time. Don't take it personally. So if your neighbor does one thing, if your spouse does something, if your kids are doing something together, don't take it personal. Right? Do you believe that? Until it happens, right? And then once it happens, man, all bets are off, man. We're going for it, right? We give up our path. We give up our highest ideas. We give up our prayer life, and the gloves come off, and we're going for it. See? And then God calls. He goes on and said, whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Using the earlier example, if I was to say to you on the street, hey, are you stupid? Without knowing you, it's not about you. If you take it personally, then perhaps you believe that you are stupid. Maybe you think to yourself, how does he know that? Is he clairvoyant? Has somebody told him how stupid I am? You take it personally because you agree with whatever they have said. And as soon as you agree, the poison goes from them to you, and you're trapped in the dream of hell. What causes you to be trapped is called personal importance. Personal importance, or taking it personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness. Because when we make the assumption that everything is about me, during periods of our education, our domestication, we learn to take everything personally. We think that we're responsible for everything. Me, 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 always me. Nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of themselves. All people are living their own dream in their own mind, and they are completely different in the world around you. And when we take something personally, we make the assumption that they know something about our inner world, and we try to impose our world on their world. Okay? So, if I was to say to you today, you look plaid, how many of you would be offended by that? Like if I say, did you not sleep well last night? You look really plaid. Right? Or who picked out your clothes today? You look really plaid. Right? Most of you would not be offended by that. Some of you can be offended about anything, right? But most of us would not be offended by that because it wouldn't make sense. Right? The reason that we get so upset when somebody says something about it is because we believe it's true about ourselves, or we fear that it's true about ourselves. So when anybody makes a comment, whether we like it or don't like it, we react to it because we're in such resistance because we don't want that to be true. And what I want you to see today is that we spend so much time dodging other people's reaction to us, dodging other people's opinion of us, that we never have the time to really do the work that's before us to do. Now, if I said to you, oh man, you're a jerk, right? How many of you would be offended with that? Right, like my minister just called me a jerk, right? What kind of a person am I? What kind of minister is that would call one of their congregants a jerk? And right at that moment, how much drama is there? It's through the roof. I mean, I don't call people jerks because they get offended by it, right? It doesn't really build a sense of love and community when the minister is firing on people. It doesn't really work. It doesn't move us forward. But what I want you to see is the moment we take offense, we are no longer on our path. See, what happens when you're impeccable with your word is that you begin to claim, you begin to affirm, you begin to declare the highest level of good. You begin to so focused in on what God's creating through you that you just get laser focused. And then there are those individuals, most of us have one or two in our families, that aren't really sure what they're about. So they just lob emotional bombs on your path to see if they can distract you. Does everybody have at least one family member who does that from time to time, right? They just lob emotional bombs. And if you react to it, you're no longer on your path. You're no longer clear. You're no longer being impeccable with your words. You're now offended. And the moment you get offended, you then have to move, if you choose to, into a time of forgiveness. Or you have to go clean it up. Or you have to have a conversation about it, right? And it takes hours and days and weeks. And then there's people that you don't even talk to because they're so all over the place. And what I want you to see is you've left your path. If you're going to be impeccable with your words, then being impeccable with your words is going to create the next version of your life. And if people drop an offense or a word or a thought or a drama in your life, you have the right not to accept it. That's why Jesus said, let your answer be yes, yes, or no, no, or anything else comes of evil. He also said, there's this great line at the end of Jesus' earthly ministry where he's got all the disciples around him, and he gives John this guidance that he wants John to be with him as they get closer to the time of crucifixion in the garden. And Peter gets his nose out of joint. And Peter wants to be the guy next to him, right? Right? Because we all have an ego, right? So our ego gets involved, and Peter wants to be the guy next to him. And Jesus turns to him and said, Peter, what is that to thee? Come and follow me. And what I want you to see is every time somebody wants to enroll you in their drama, every time somebody wants to give you their opinion of who you are, what you should be, what you should be doing, what you should be doing better or right or wrong or different, what I want you to hear is the voice of Jesus speaking directly to your soul. What is that to thee? Come and follow me. Because what I know to be true is that you can't be on your path and listening to the drama of everyone around you. If you spend all your time listening to the drama of everyone around you, you're going to spend all your time doing your forgiveness work, and you're actually not going to be moving your life forward. You know we have a purpose as a nation to build a more perfect union, right? That's our mission, right? Is to build a more perfect union. But what's happening so often in politics is the fight between each other becomes more important than the idea of building a more perfect union. Because now if we fight about it, we can spend hours and years and days fighting about this side, or you did this, or you did this. And we never really get to the business of building a more perfect union. That I believe that the work that God has for you is so important that if you're getting offended over and over again, you're actually not doing the work. You're in the level of human drama. And there's nothing wrong with being at the level of human drama, but it's not spiritual work. Spiritual work requires that you actually know why you're here. What are you here to create? What is the spiritual work that you're here to do? And is it more important to you than making sure that everybody approves of you? That everybody likes you? That everybody thinks you're all that? Right? When I was in seminary, one of my favorite professors said, after you do a good talk, hopefully you'll do good talks. He said, after you do a good talk, people are going to come out the door and they're going to tell you how wonderful you are, right? Except for one or two. And one or two are going to say, well, that was a good talk, but, or, if you would have given that talk 6 months ago, it would have been better when I needed it. Or he said, what I'd like you to look at doing is every time somebody, as they come out of the church, just imagine them going cluck, cluck, cluck. He said, what happens is, if you take all the compliments serious, if you let all the compliments inflate you, then when the two derogatory comments come, they will deflate you at a greater level. And so just receive them all, but really don't take any of them seriously, because the deal is that you have a divine mission. You have a purpose. And when you know what your purpose is, other people's opinion becomes less and less important. How many of you have let somebody else's opinion keep you from doing the work that you know God has given you? How many of you let somebody's reaction to your art or to your message or to your life actually sway you from living the best version of you? We have to get over this one. I don't get to take anything personal. Will you say that with me? I don't get to take anything personal. Together, it's not about me. Together, it's not about me. Now, do you have a God-given right to make it about you? Right? Do you have a God-given right to spend weeks and months and years in the drama of other people's opinion? Yes, but you're plaid. It's not about you, right? If I think you're plaid, is that about you or is that about me? It's about me. It's like, Richard, what, like new glasses? What's going on? Because it's not about you. You know if you're wearing plaid. You know if you look plaid. If you're resistant to doing plaid, it might be time for more therapy, right? Because it's time to move forward. Don Miguel. If anyone gives you an opinion and says, hey, you look so fat, don't take it personally. Together, don't take it personally. Because the truth is that this person is dealing with his or her own feelings, beliefs, and opinions. That person tried to send poison to you. And if you take it personally, then you take that poison and it becomes yours. Taking things personally makes you easy prey for those predators of black magic. They can hook you easily with one of their little opinions and feed you whatever poison they want because you'll take it personally and you'll eat it up. See, what I want you to see is that some people don't believe they have a mission. And some people don't believe that they have the power to make their mission come true. So if you don't believe you have a mission, and if you don't believe you have a power to move and create the life you want, then what you want to do is sabotage everyone around you. You want to keep them from their life, from their good, from their blessings, from living in the grace that God has for all of them. And today what I want you to see is that it doesn't help them. It doesn't help them when they sabotage your good. It actually takes two of you, and you get to decide. And part of our spiritual maturity is when we can let go of the need for everyone's approval to move us forward. Do you know what Aka chords are? Have you ever heard of Ho'oponopono? Okay, Ho'oponopono, one of the aspects of Ho'oponopono is Aka chords. And the premise of Aka chords in Hawaiian teaching, spiritual teaching, is that every time we have an interaction with anyone, it creates emotional connections, right? And the more we have emotional connections with other people, the longer those emotional connections go on, the more emotional connections we have with them. And in the Hawaiian teaching of Ho'oponopono, this idea of cutting or severing or releasing your Aka chords actually sets you free and sets them free. Can you imagine that everyone that you've ever had any kind of interaction with, you now have an Aka chord to them? All your past dates and spouses and parents and children and everybody that you liked and everybody you didn't like. In the Hawaiian teaching, you now have an emotional connection to all of them. And in the Hawaiian process, they teach you to release those to set yourself free. Well, but I really love this person and I want to have an emotional connection with them. Well, the difference between love and having an emotional connection is that love's a free gift. It's unconditional. It doesn't actually create entanglements. It's just a free, loving gift. It sets us free. But when we have emotional entanglements, it's because we want or need or feel we need something out of the people around us. And it just creates more and more emotional baggage, more and more connections, until finally we can't really create our life because we're so entangled with our past. And in the Hawaiian tradition, you invite, the way that I understand it, you invite the Holy Spirit to cut all the inappropriate emotional connections you have with anyone to set them free and to set you free. And all that energy that is now going out to feeding emotionally all the people in your life now becomes available for you to create the next level of your life. So would you like to try that? I want you to close your eyes. And if you have a particular person you want to start with, or if you just want to do it as a general process, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to invite the Holy Spirit to cut all the inappropriate emotional connections you have with anyone. Doesn't stop them from loving you or you loving them. That's a free gift. But what it does is it cuts all the emotional baggage that we have with anyone in our life. Children, spouses, parents, friends, coworkers, bosses. It just cuts all the emotional baggage. Holy Spirit, cut all the aqua cords. Those that I'm aware of, those that I'm unaware of. Those that are above me, below me, in front of me, beside me, behind me. Cut all the emotional baggage. So that you can set everyone in your life free. Free to be the best version of themselves. Free to create the life that they desire. Free to walk their path as you now are free to walk yours. And it actually opens our heart because it's no longer an emotional drain on our soul. It no longer is a heaviness, but it's a freedom. Holy Spirit, cut all emotional baggage between me and anyone in my life. Set us free. Set us free. When you're ready, I want you to come back. How many of you could feel that you could actually feel yourself cutting the emotional? So what I want you to do is, one of the things I want you to practice this week is cutting all the aqua cords from everyone out of your past. Right? It's like, well, that's a little scary, Richard. What if I really just completely let them go? Well, is love real? Is love eternal? Yeah, so love stays and all the emotional baggage goes away. And all the energy that's now taking up, holding on to that emotional baggage now gets to be set free, and you get to live the best level of your life. You get to live the best version of you, and so does everyone else. What is that to thee? Come and follow me. That today what I want you to see is that the more that you are impeccable with your words, you don't have to take anything else personal. The more that you're clear about what your purpose, your mission, your work on this world is, the more you can let go of everyone else to live their path. You don't need them to be on your path. You have a path. They have their path. And you can walk side by side, each on your own path. But it's not the same path. Everyone in your life has their own path. And when they want to tell you how you should live your path, you can thank them for that, right? But it's not their path. It's not their opinion. It's not their thing. This is your path. Through my words, I am set free. Together? Through my words, I am set free. One more time. Through my words, I am set free. I set everyone in my life free. Together? I set everyone in my life free to live their life. Together? To live their life. Let's take it into prayer. I want you to open your mind, your heart, your soul to the activity of God that is right here, right now. I want you to feel the full power of God within you that is ready to move your life forward for greater peace and power and love and abundance, that God is right there ready to move your life forward. And we let everyone go. We let the stories, the drama, the upset, the hurt feelings, the disappointment, the frustration, we let it all go, that we're no longer focused on other people, on their process, on their words. We're impeccable with our words. We don't take it personally. We live the highest and the best that is within us. Take another deep breath. Feel the power of your spirit. Feel the power of God within you to move your life forward. And so it is. Amen. God bless you all. Have a great week, and thank you for being here today.
This is our sacred time of giving. We, with a grateful heart, celebrate every manifestation of prosperity that you have shared with us this year. I affirm that God is our source, and we are blessed as we envision prosperity flowing through and to us. I invite you to take in your hand that which you would share with us today and affirm with me the blessing on the screen. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And you may drop your offering in the basket at the back of the church as you exit this service. Thank you.
God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. God bless you all. Have a great week. Thank you very much.